Alright guys, I want to do a little towing video with First Gen because I've never towed one of these trucks, and yes, it does have the 4-speed automatic in it. Yeah, that's not ideal for towing as far as older transmissions, older trucks and stuff goes. But old timers always said, oh, you get yourself a Cummins and First Gen, it'll pull anything. I'm going to be a realist. I wish I could hook a gooseneck up to it, but I think I would destroy it because, yeah, it already had kind of trouble pulling the little trailer. I was going to put Grandma's truck on there, but let's go ahead and put this Kubota on it. How about that? This thing is, it looks like a little Kubota, but it's actually real close to 6,000, 7,000 pounds. It's got some big counterweights in the back. It's not a light little tractor. It's 51 horsepower and has a turbo. I'll show you guys this right now. I was going to put my 4th Gen dually on there, you know, for the cheapest truck I've ever bought to tow the most expensive truck I ever bought. Kind of a video, but I can't get it up on these ramps because they need to be a foot longer, basically, because there's too much arch and I'll rub my footsteps on it. So, plus, turns out I don't have the right trailer plug-in, so we're just gonna take the back roads. See how sketchy we can get. This tractor dangerously has more horsepower than the First Gen Cummins. All right, let's see how she looks. Oh, it just bent in the frame a little bit. Just kidding. That right there is how you do a leveling kit. Tag the back down. The Simon C trailer weighs 4,500 pounds by itself. So let's just say, let's round it together, 11,000 pounds, mildly speaking. Either way, it is not that much compared to somebody else. All right, I'm just gonna drive across the street. We're gonna try her out. Let's see how sketchy this thing is. I don't know if it's like a stall converter or what, but I know this thing don't lock up at all. Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to tow anywhere with this thing without trailer brakes. A newer truck, if you lose your trailer brakes, you can live. This old stuff, no way. Man, and notice another thing. Where the hell's a cup holder? Got no cup holder. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little nervous. Oh well, this is all for science. Stuff with science normally works out in our favor. Except for testing shark suits. I think there's a spot I can turn around down here. Kubota's back there doing his thing. Gotta think back in the day when you buy one of these trucks, this was state of the line or state of the art or something like that. This was the best money you could buy for a pickup, depending on what brand you wanted. 1993 to get an intercooled Cummins with the overdrive, power windows, air conditioned. This was a nice truck. Let's get her to second gear. This would have been a sweet truck. My grandma's late husband had one of these. Actually had two of them. The first one he was a big 2-wheel drive guy. I don't know why. But this thing, I mean, it actually is handling the weight pretty good. I'll give it that. If I had trailer brakes, this would be pretty legit. Anyway, so he used like one of the early onset of, we're going to tow heavy with our pickups because it's got a freaking inline 6 turbo diesel in it. And it had one of those 3-speed early automatics with the tall gears. He said he was going up a hill towing his backhoe one time, John Deere backhoe. They didn't make those light ever back then, no matter how big they were. Anyway, he was going up the hill. It's a locking torque converter, so it's just always making heat. And he went up it until the transmission stopped going. I don't know what he did after that, but he said the transmission didn't work anymore. So his next round, he got a 5-speed. He bought it brand new, 93. Would have been the same exact truck as this one. So I always thought that was cool, and that's part of the reason why I like to deal with the gooseneck stuff now, is because I always wanted to see somebody do that when I was a kid, and by that time they just resorted to, you could call him the low boy. But having a really loose torque converter like this, I have no idea what the tack is, but well, watch out, car, I got a trailer. Yeah. Don't worry about that, I didn't even tie it down, it's cool. What's this? Let's turn around right here. Yeah, that's probably our best bet. I ain't gonna go any further because we got our information. That regular cab life is nice and easy for turning around, I'll give her that. these loose torque converters though. They leave a lot to be desired, but I guess back in the day, if you just absolutely did not know that 30 years from now they're gonna have an awesome pickup. Let's just listen, let's grab some gears. It shifts freaking smooth though. I don't know if these had a tow haul. It just got an overdrive off, and I sprayed the engine bay earlier, so I got a water and fuel light on. That's typical in these older trucks. Bouncing down the road in my old Dodge, towing my tractor, just for a YouTube video. Now, for real though, I wanted to see how these things towed, and they drive a lot nicer when they're towing than they do when they're empty, but it's still pretty bouncy, I'll give it that much. But just to say, you know how a 28-year-old truck's going to behave. It's not going to be anything futuristic, even though for back then this was an awesome rig. We got her up to 20. I don't dare want to take it any further than that with this little bit of weight and no trailer brakes. Rear drum, I think it's got disc. Yeah, it's got disc in the front, and the trailer brake, since I don't have the correct plug, I'm not gonna full send, because that's how you get injured and say goodbye to first gen and tractor. The Diamond C would live, of course. See right here, it's plowing us. Oh yeah, you can get in trouble real quick with one of these if you lost your trailer brakes. 5500 or my 35, I don't even turn the trailer brakes on for this little freaking load back there. Harlicker home? I don't know. Funny truck though, funny truck. I actually don't know how much towing this truck has done in its life. See, these are one of those things, probably got a kick down, but a lot of folks told me to get a first gen because they're smog exempt, carb exempt and everything, and just tow with that. That would be sweet, but whoo, not one of these. This old girl, you're always burning on the torque converter. I don't really know what they're thinking back in the day by not having locking torque converter. They didn't get on board with, it's literally the same pretty much trans all the way until like 06, until they went to a 6.7. This old trans, I think it's a 727 in this, which is pretty much the same thing as the 46 or 47, 48, same junk. But here, I'll show you. Look how, see the brake pedal? This will sum it up for you. You gotta push that thing down like 19 inches. Not quite Flintstone, but I push it pretty much to the ground, not just the floor. It's kind of fun driving this one. And the old stallion got us back to the house in one piece. It is about 105 degrees outside right now, pretty dry, slightly intolerable. but we did the tow test anyways. I don't know if it's not the engine temp that's warm, but I can kind of smell that the truck was working. I don't think it's a trans, maybe it's just the tires on the pavement, or maybe it's the brakes. If it's the brakes, then that was on me, because I didn't hook up the trailer brakes, because, well, it's got the old metal plug, which I have an adapter, but it's not here. I'll just tell you that much. So I want to talk about just folks that are always, oh, old school trucks are so much better than the new trucks. And I'm not going to knock on either one of them, because I like both. Because I got old stuff, I got new stuff. People, for some reason, people have been calling that truck old lately. I don't know. Whatever. I got newer trucks than that too, but as far as the 12 valves go versus the new stuff, because the old 12 valves, these are million-mile engines. You know why these things were million-mile engines back then? Starters, they're a pretty good engine. Can't knock that. But the main reason, in my personal opinion, I think it's because they just didn't have any power. You can't really wear out something that doesn't have a lot of power. It hits a certain governed RPM, and that's all you get. They're industrial engines, generators, tractors that just run what they're set to run wide open all the time. Somebody had a brilliant idea of throwing it in their Dodge pickup, and it made something truly awesome. But having that but unlocked torque converter, that's not really a good idea. The later ones, I didn't know this, but these ones don't lock up third and fourth. They're just unlocked all the time. Second gens, they will lock up third and fourth, which is good, but if they lock up second, third, and fourth, like third gens, then that's pretty nice. But it took them a while to get to that. But she's a nice little unit, though. It'd be a little bit... I wouldn't want to tow with one of these all the time. I'll give you that much. But I'm going to unload it. Drive the first gen up to Dad's, charge the air condition. And first gen's ready to go to a new owner. She passed the tow test. I would say, given what the truck is, she passed with flying colors. It is kind of cool going back in time and testing out one of these old trucks to see what it used to be like. Because I think a lot of the people that harp on me for towing kind of heavy with a gooseneck behind my pickup, I think a lot of them are still in the age where they think that that is the modern pickup. That right there is not safe to tow more than 10,000 pounds. I don't care what you're saying. I towed freaking 10, 11,000 right now. Even if I had trailer brakes, screw that. I guess I've just been spoiled with the newer stuff. But anyway, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
So anybody that's towed more than 20,000 pounds with a first gen, send me a photo of it. Email is in the description below. But this is a load I hauled with my 3500 fourth gen. This truck is 100% rated to tow 30,000 pounds. The newer ones are higher than that. But the TL12 plus 3 attachments and the gooseneck is not quite 30,000 pounds. But take into consideration, I'm towing on a 105-degree day, going up down some pretty steep hills. Engine temp ran perfect. Transmission temp ran perfect. Air conditioning in the cab was great. Had cruise control going. What would you have to do to a first gen to get it to compete on one of these trucks at all? This truck is bone stock, no modifications whatsoever. You would have to spend more on a first gen than it would cost to just buy one of these trucks. And I don't think a first gen would be that reliable on a higher power level, especially towing this kind of weight. So I just got to shut that idea down right now. I'm not going to build a first gen up so that I could tow 30,000+ pounds with it. The frame's not there, differentials aren't there. Even the studs on the, lug nuts aren't there, stuff like that. But I am hauling out a new TL12 from Global Machinery. Maybe we'll get one of those orange guys on the way back. That one on the far right, the new 175, that thing's 25,000 pounds. So do the math on how much the rest of those weigh. We'll see you guys in the next one. See you.